This is Up to the Minute here with my friends Mike Silver and Steve Wyche, and welcoming in to the conversation, Judy Batista joins us as well live here on Up to the Minute. And Judy has an article right now on NFL.com after going to that Cowboys win in Pittsburgh this past Sunday, where at 8-1, Judy, I think we kind of got to call them, or at least put them at the top of the conversation for the best team of the NFL now.
I think so, especially since the Patriots lost the other day at home. Certainly they're the best team in the NFC, and I think that's sort of is what you have to keep in mind as you look at the big picture here with Dak Prescott and Zeke Elliott, and with Tony Romo, too, is that the Cowboys have to look at themselves as the best team in the NFC, especially as all those other teams were losing on Sunday. They have to look big picture and think, you know, people might have to go through Dallas to get to the Super Bowl. And that's why it's so important that they've managed the Prescott-Romo situation the way they're managing it. And
they've managed it well. Jerry Jones says, look, it's going to be a backup deal now for Tony Romo. We finally get to ask Romo about that coming up shortly. Wyche, Silver, real quick here, jump in. Are they the best team in the NFL? I think we agree the NFC, but what about big picture?
You don't think so?
We do
not agree. We do not agree the NFC, because you saw the best team in the NFC finally starting to get right in New England on Sunday.
Oh, so
I don't care
Seahawks for you.
I don't care if the Seattle Seahawks are the number 6 seed come playoff time. They are going to be a load to beat. That was without Michael Bennett, maybe their biggest, their most important defensive player. Russell Wilson's starting to get healthy. On the other hand, as Judy said, don't sleep on the Cowboys, because that offensive line is dominant, and when you have that, you're going to be tough to beat.
I ride with Mike Silver right here. I know the Cowboys, we have that one loss. On paper, they're the best team, but when you look at head-to-head, what Seattle is starting to do, getting Thomas Rawls back, Russell Wilson healthy, if they meet in a couple weeks, that could be a very interesting game. But if that game is in Dallas, now we're talking about home field. If it comes through Dallas in the playoffs, that could be a decisive factor. AT&T Stadium hasn't always been the most comfortable home field for Dallas, but now it is. And as Mike said, that offensive line and Ezekiel Elliott, teams have been able to run on the Seahawks this year. But, you know, if they met head-to-head in a couple weeks, I'm not so sure that Seattle, getting Cam Chancellor back, Michael Bennett possibly coming back, isn't the best team in the NFC.
All right, we were joking about this morning. I was joking with our CP, Todd Sperry. Imagine if that playoff game were in Dallas, it's Seattle there, and the backup quarterback often is the holder. Tony Romo could be the holder.
No.
I mean, I'm not trying to flip or crass or be a jerk here.
Jordan Babineau is not walking through that door, Drew.
Jordan
I was at that game, and it was very surreal on that rainy night in Seattle.
Yes, it was surreal. I was watching at a bar here in Los Angeles. There were other surreal things about that night that I will not personally get into. Judy, let's talk about the quarterback, though, because Romo is about to speak, and you saw him in that locker room Sunday in Pittsburgh. He kind of kept to himself. I know some people who watched him on the sideline playing with his Microsoft Surface described him as almost a sympathetic figure. Judy, it's kind of time to start talking about where he'll be next year other than Dallas, isn't it?
I certainly think so, unless the wheels come off Dak Prescott, which I don't think anything is imagined like that, or if he gets hurt. But, yeah, I can't imagine that Romo returns to Dallas. He did keep to himself. He was bundled up under a huge blanket. It was a cold day in Pittsburgh. But in the locker room afterwards, I was struck by everybody stopped to shake hands with Romo or hug him. It was obviously a very jubilant locker room, as you would expect after a win the way they won it, too. But everybody stopped, including Jerry Jones, to include him in the celebration. But then he dressed by himself, and he snuck out about the same time that Jerry Jones was holding court in the middle of the locker room, talking about how he did not think it was going to be awkward, that Tony Romo was going to be the backup. We'll see. Romo is not the confrontational sort. He never has been. He's never been a disruptive kind of guy in the locker room. So we'll see how it goes. But certainly the Cowboys and Jerry Jones are expecting this to be a smooth transition. It helps that it's happened organically, that they haven't had to force the issue, that even Tony Romo has to know that Dak Prescott is what they have to do right now.